The triangles, let me see if I can get the snippet tool back. Oh yeah, snippet tool. And grab this. Here. Okay, so new. So this line right here had a bunch of triangles. And if I didn't put this connection right here, the train would have skipped these triangles, went all the way down here, come back, picked up the triangles here, and then deposited them here. So that would have been an extra 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 before it deposited into the right spot. Instead, it dropped off here for 1, 2, 3 because it's using the green line that's cutting across. So that's like one of the reasons why these choices are interesting, right? If we remember the requirements for something that's an interesting choice, you have to be able to make an informed decision, which is obvious. Every piece of information we need to know is here, except for like what random passengers will pop up, which is not that important. Um, the choices need to be unequally attractive. So I could probably talk about a bunch of different moves I can do, but not all of them are perfect. Like no one move is going to be like obviously, because eventually these shapes are going to get so clustered that you won't know exactly where you want it to go or what's happening. Um, yeah, you have to make a variety of choices. So yeah, every single choice I can make, whether this line goes here or wraps back here or does this or hits there, like those are all different choices. And then there's one more thing to it, but this qualifies for interesting choices without doing much, and it's amazing how many other games str- struggle so hard just to get to this point of decision making. And it's not like interesting choices make your game like hard. You can have a very low penalty for making the wrong quote unquote choice in a game of interesting choices. But one thing interesting to note here is my red line is super long, and I can just take these trains that I'm not using and plop them on the red line, right? Or I can make a purple line if I so choose. All right, so we're gonna connect that. So now the red line's getting this extra cleanup from this guy that's chasing him. And I think trains pause at every station, and every passenger that gets on the train pauses it just a little bit more. So if a train doesn't need to deposit any passengers, it's going to skate on by, and that's really why a lot of the timers that you see here get desynced. These two red lines should be like halfway across the red line from each other, but right now they're almost right next to each other, right? That's because of the passengers, and this line in the back's going to catch up because this one's depositing, right? Oh shoot! So here's one of our first point of interest, and we can connect it here and here. And just like I told you before, all these circles are appearing over here on the left side. They just like to cause problems, right? Because it's hard to connect circles to any other shape while you're drawing this line, but I'm going to go ahead and do this. And since I have two lines running on this red track, it shouldn't get too bad. So I just need to make sure that they can access the other shapes as quickly and easily as possible, right? And in fact, this red line here is probably clogging up things because it's double, triple triangle in a row. So if I just extend this green, right, now the green is doing circle, square, circle, triangle, triangle, which is much better than circle, circle, square, circle, circle, triangle, triangle, triangle. There's much more variety. Variety is what you need to keep the pressure down. But one of the interesting parts about learning, especially games that are actually deep and actually complex instead of sort of false choices and making a lot of uninformed decisions like in a lot of RPGs and stuff. So right now I can take this train and move it over here as part of micro, right? Because I can. They let me do it, so I do it. Purple line cut across the top. That's why I have all those extra bridges, so I can do stuff like this. And now the purple line has a lot of variety. The red line has its backup. Diamonds are going to go to the green line to this purple line here. And the purple line is going to pretty much be able to clean up all diamonds fairly easily. And finally, some variety. Yes. So I attached a square, which squares are also like, look at this. One, two, three, four, five, six, 7 circles. One, two, three, 3 triangles, and then 2 squares, and then 1 diamond. That's the ratio I told you guys about before. So knowing that this square is somewhat uncommon, uh, yeah, two squares, yeah, 3 triangles. Okay. I'm recognizing this as a point of relieving pressure on the red line, and it's probably going to help make the red line more efficient, even though I added more line distance. So this should be fine. So the red line is still getting clogged because the line is so long, but I have one more locomotion. I don't think I need any more bridges. I'm going to grab another line and play it at normal speed. So as long as the stations don't get to 6 people, I think I'm fine. And right before the red gets to this clogged area, it deposits a lot of things off at green because that's just more efficient. Oh, so I need a square for purple actually, but that's fine. And look, more triangles on the right. Green line just got a little bit less efficient. So instead of doing this, I might as well do something like this. Make green more efficient and add a blue line. It's all it's doing is running these triangles. In fact, it's probably not a good idea. It's just waste time. Because if there's a diamond out here, that's just one away going this way, for going through the circle down to the diamond. I'm like, it's really no big deal for this thing to travel down there. And passengers who want to go for circles or squares are going to get on the green line anyway. Alright. I'm seeing activity on this left lower side. Some variety. That's fine. You have to be quick sometimes in order to get the oop. More variety on the line. Excellent. That's going to relieve a lot of pressure. So even though red line is going slower now, it's actually making better decisions. What was my condition? No more than 2 lines with square stations? Oh, that's crazy. So right now, all my square stations have to be green or red. I think that's a better use of the green line. It adds more variety to the green line without having to go through this. But I probably have to rearrange all these in a second because they're gonna... Okay. That line probably needs some attention. Purple line's definitely gonna get clogged now. It was clogged before, but now I got a locomotion. Am I gonna need more bridges? I don't think so. So here's what's going on with the purple line. It's only one car on the purple line. It's the only way that diamonds are gonna get to diamond passengers are gonna get to the diamond on the south. That means every other junction point, this red and purple and this green and purple junction point, that means those 2 places are likely going to be filled up with diamonds, and that means that depositing or picking up other passengers on the purple's line is going to get kind of choked up. As you can see now, the purple line is already kind of choked up. So I mean, sometimes with your extra line, you just need the car. And I can maneuver this purple anywhere I want and take it off if necessary. Yeah, and this red line. Do I have an extra tunnel? Yeah, 1 extra bridge. So now all the lines are a little extra crowded. So what's interesting about being able to see everything is, right, like right now the red line has a whole bunch of diamonds, but for whatever reason, the diamonds didn't get deposited on the green line. They're going to go up to this purple line and then get on coming downward. I don't know why these diamonds weren't deposited. Red lines coming back. You can just look on the trains themselves to see the kinds of things that they have too much of, and that's maybe an indicator of where your choke points are. So this, all this is fine. You can see variety. If you see variety at a stop, that means that the trains that are going there are depositing enough stuff that, or if you see variety at a stop, that means the trains that pass through can pick up just about every passenger and deliver them fairly well, especially considering all these stops have low numbers like 0011 This whole right side of the map is clean. The left side of the map needs more attention. Um, Here's a perfect ratio right here. Maybe I'll draw on the screen again. This. I'm on a new streaming setup, by the way, guys. That's why it's a little crazy. So this is a perfect ratio right here. Um, where's my other one? So there's only two squares, so it's really not that hard to find. I only have one perfect ratio as my starting one, right? You could consider, no, you can't. Wow, okay. So this is the most efficient three-stop shop. And I have this red line going all the way over here. Why, right? This point right here has three juncture points for no reason. So red needs to move. The green line doesn't look too crowded, so as long as we don't give them too many lines, it's fine. And if we actually don't make the green line, if we don't make the green line come all the way out here, there's already two triangles, so anyone who's a triangle is already good, and the circle to get to a square or any other shape would have to go up the line anyway. So I could potentially move the green line around. But yeah, like every decision I'm making is only based on these tiny little heuristics that I formed. And they're not the best. Heuristics usually aren't, because they are trying to turn into methods, and methods are trying to be solid heuristics after proven experience or some kind of other formula that you figure out. So let's see. What I said here was like, there's no reason for you to be here. The red line now has two triangles on the very ends, which is fine. You don't need double. This is a golden ratio, so this whole area right here is going to be fine. And then it hits a lot of circles, but at least we touch base on this square. And everything down here in the bottom left green area has to wait a long time before they can deposit. So this bottom left green area is actually a problem. It has to wait to get to a triangle quite a lot. And it's just all circles down there. So I need to pay attention to the lower left part of the map. What happened to my... Oh yeah, there's my other red. Yeah, I think triangles are in high demand down here. I see this on the top left part of the red line. Things wait too long to be triangles. Oh, but now they have a purple line. Yes, so triangles... Well, that doesn't really help. So here's what I can do. If I want a triangle deposited a little earlier and relieve pressure off the red line, but I shortened the red line anyway, so I don't need to relieve pressure, I probably would have moved this here and removed this circle down there, but that's fine. Green line is still struggling. It's struggling a lot, so we're going to take this and just plop them over here. And the green line is struggling with triangles and squares. Squares shouldn't be the problem. The green line is like the best line for squares. It's a huge junction point. That's huge. And all that pressure was relieved just because the timing of everything just happened to work out. Alright, another square. Perfect. So they said I can only connect two lines to squares, right? If I connect this next one, it's probably going to warn me. You have too many lines going through this square station. You're like, ah, you're right, you're right. Uh, so here's where the challenge comes in. If you can only have green and red go through the square station, you can do this. I think green needs it, and I think red doesn't. Red can be junctioned here. Purple can be taken off here. Red can be taken off here. Wait, it's still red and green. Oh, purple can go here. And then green conjunction with purple. Uh, let's see, if there's squares coming back. Oh yeah, purple's going to have its own square line, so it won't need this. So green can just touch base with... That's a lot of circles in a row. Here. Red and purple. So now purple is one of the longest lines, and it has this awkward scoop. To get rid of this problem, probably need another line. But we can't connect that other line to a circle, or to a square, because that's the mission. So, to keep the line as short as possible, we need to... This is like circle country, and I can't connect here. So I need to start treating these squares as my... If the squares are my bottleneck stations, then I need to have... Let's just get rid of purple real quick. Off this. If you're a bottleneck and it's only green and red... Yeah, I get it, I get it. It's only green and red. Then green can now snake... And green can now be the line that's most responsible for diamonds. Purple can help green out by connecting there. Now people can get to squares through green. Disquarius Green Jr. Wow. Red is doing unnecessary gymnastics. But if it's just red and green that can touch squares, then I don't think I need green to go to the right. Variety, variety, variety. Like this. Circle. This will leave the most pressure off the center, but now there's just not enough lines touching the things in the center. So that's where this orange line comes into play. Blue line can afford this variety. This puts a lot of pressure on green line to deposit here. Now no matter what's coming, it's going to have a high chance of the cross traffic working out for it. You know what? It hits triangles all the way coming down, then it's going to hit a square circle, so that's the majority, and it's one more line that can get to this rare thing instead of having to go through my bottleneck, which is probably pretty good. And now I don't need the green line going there anymore. So that crosses, the purple line crisscrosses a lot of things. Juncture, no juncture, Juncture. Not a lot of actually. There's not a lot of places where they can transfer lines. Actually, this is probably not good. But I think I shortened the lines on average. I don't know what half these sound. Oh, so those weird high-pitched sound effects are the rare passengers. Locomotion. I don't need lines, do I? Do I? I don't think I need carriages. Usually I use a carriage when something's going to go all the way out on its own and pick up everything coming back, but that's usually not the best way to use your resources. A line would help me connect more things in the center here. So I have one extra train, and the only thing bottlenecking right now are these top two purple stations, so maybe there's no problem. I was going to do this. I could just shove my extra car on the purple station. That station is packed. But all the trains go to it. That's why I made it like that. Took off a lot of that pressure. Okay, so now we have another unique shape at the top. Red line seems to be perfectly capable of taking it on without much difference. Red line also has two. So if red line has so much stuff, we're going to do this, and that'll help purple line as it moves deep out and comes back in. And we don't need both lines right here touching that. It can touch this. So now it's triangle, circle, square, rare, circle, triangle, circle. That's not bad. Blue line looks like it's struggling. It's going to have a long loop to get back. Did I already use my car? Yeah, I just threw it on purple line. I might throw it on blue line. Yep, another rare one. So that's on the south. Blue line is packed. Now purple line needs a little help. So this green line, after it deposits these, is this reattach? Purple line's still congested like crazy. Okay, that's a lot of extra stuff. This diamond, just like I told you, the rare spots can be kind of a bottleneck. It's not really creating diamonds getting into the station bottleneck, but apparently here it has no squares. I mean, there's squares right here. The green line just needs more, and the green line doesn't have access to triangles unless they go up the blue line, which is not too bad. My issue seems to be triangles. It looks like the whole left side of the map has one, the whole middle and left side have two, and the right side has five. Okay. And I don't think the green line needs to go all the way up there, actually. And I don't think this purple line's having problems with triangles because it only has a triangle moving in one direction. It needs to have a triangle moving in two directions. So this line right here needs to go there, and this line needs to go here. That's a better formation. Red looks like it's not having many problems, and blue in the bottom is handling so many squares. It has no place to put squares. That's because the only lines that can touch squares are green. Um, so maybe I just need 2 points of green contact with blue, which is what I have here now. And you can deposit it, and that's good. What do I have? No extra trains in the yellow line. The blue needs 2 trains no matter what. And we have no squares out here, so we really have to get to a square as soon as possible. That's terrible. This is terrible. Okay, so let's say squares are uncommon. This is something blue can do. You can start here and be like, let's go to the triangle. Then let's go to the circle. Then let's go to the triangle. Then let's go to circle, triangle. Then let's go to the circle. And let's go to the triangle. Then let's go to the circle. So there are going to be only squares and rares coming into this station right here. And because diamonds are so rare, this doesn't need to go through this station right here. But as the train travels to the right, it's going to have problems. So I might just micromanage that one. It seems like a decent thing to do. Or I could just connect them. Now the train will only flow in one direction, and it's not a bad way to flow. Yeah, it's not a bad way to flow, actually. Yep. So you don't need to flow in this direction, but I'll leave you. I'll leave you. So purple's still having problems. That's fine. Interchange! Yay! Okay, so check this out. The interchange is what allows things to transfer really, really fast. Like, really fast. And it holds more capacity. So should I put it here? Well, you really want it here. I wish that kind of had a golden ring to it or something, but it's just a slightly larger circle. Which I guess makes sense because it's a slightly larger station. Blue looks like it's taken care of. Green is going to have an even faster time depositing to square and diamond now, so that's good. Green had a hard time getting to triangle, but we ran out of bridges. Do we even need this triangle? Do we even need this bridge? Yes. Is that a more efficient line? Oh. Just micromanage that a little bit. Man, these stations are taking forever with these slow passengers. Interchange. Yeah, you got somebody coming, complaining passengers. So it looks like blue is still a bottleneck despite shoving all these dudes in it. Well, they exchanged a lot of passengers right there. Yeah, the blue line's still having problems. Okay. Blue line is still having problems. And I have the ability to just make other colored lines, which are probably what the best solution is for blue. Because if I have all these carts on blue, it doesn't really make sense to have them going this far out. So let's just split this thing in half. So obviously doing this all in real time would be a lot more stressful. So those are all circles. That's not good. And this is kind of not good. These all need squares, and the squares can only be touched by red. Uh, red and green currently, but I might change that. Since red is doing so well. Oop, not that. Red is doing so well, we actually don't need purple to come out here at all. This will speed up purple, and because purple's sped up, uh, we could actually do something like this. Now, only purple and green can touch the squares. So it needs. The orange line is connected to nothing. I don't know what sense it makes to create this pentagon at the top that can only be serviced by red. I'm not sure what sense that makes. But I definitely made sure that red on the left side could only get to the... I should probably just do this then. And the orange is not drawn well. See, here's a cool thing you can do. Normally, you're like, "Oh, a line's only good when there's a car on it." There's some truth to that, but you can actually set yourself up for some easy bottleneck relievers like this. Triangle, circle, and since only square can be deposited with this green. These guys over here need squares as quickly as possible. And they're all right here. One, two, three. So here's one away, here's one away, and here's two away. So it's going to come down to the interchange, which now only has three lines going through it, but only two of them go to the squares immediately, so that's already a bottleneck. They're going to need squares. So I feel like they're both on their way to getting to squares. But this probably needs to be a triangle. And this dip right here probably shouldn't even exist. This shouldn't exist. Even though it's a double triangle, I'm just getting rid of some unnecessary. The blue line's gonna have to be the snake way. Interesting. Whatever. What? It changed that station into a star? I've never seen that happen ever. It changed my interchange to a star. Now it's not even a circle, which I guess helped. I guess that's what happened in New York. They just like developed, and all of a sudden it's like, yo, it's a star. The Big Apple. Okay, so the blue line does not have enough support currently. Where are all my extra lines? Purple? No. This is the hard part. You have to like move it off to grab the purple, and then it automatically tries to pick your color. You're like, stop it. So, so every square, I think it needs to go here and forward. Okay, that's not too bad. But this is painfully in need of squares, and this is filled with circles. It has diamond shapes and triangles. That needs a triangle. Maybe it'll deposit them here. Oh, there's no triangles out there. I don't think this is actually that bad of an idea anymore. So I'll move a line to the yellow on emergencies to alleviate pressure here when there's too many non-squares. So now the blue line is like an exclusive square killer, hopefully. Or a square carrier. Squares are still the bottleneck. This is crazy. We need more green lines. I think we can trust the power of the interchange and not have this purple go to this. So we're going to have it go to this square. And if that goes to there, the green doesn't necessarily need to go this far up. But there's really nothing else for it to do. Okay, so as anticipated, the blue line's turned into the square carrier. So we look at what other line has the least pressure going on. That's crazy. I need another line. I'm trying to figure out which line I can take pluck a trying to pluck the line off you. This UI is kind of hard sometimes. Maybe if I do this, that kind of helps. So we're just gonna run our triangle circle pressure off on this this thingy, and we're gonna actually connect. So this is just gonna make sure that all the triangles and well, there's only one triangle over here anyway. And it looks like my orange line isn't doing anything. Did I never hook it up? No, it's actually slow. So let's say if the orange line goes all the way out here, the only thing it needs to worry about is picking up. We just need to make sure all the squares are as close as possible to jumping over this bridge, and we need to make 2 bridges over. How many extra bridges do I have? 1. So this yellow line needs to hopscotch between circles and triangles. And as long as it alternates, it's good. Okay, so now the yellow line's exclusive job is relieving pressure that leaves everything else's exclusive job is to get their specialties dudes to one of these two specialty jump points. We definitely need to get you to the specialty jump interchange. And we're out of bridges. Oh, we have one more bridge. Okay, so the orange line. Maybe the orange line should just go to the interchange. Because the interchange can handle it. These other lines can't. And we need to pluck one yellow line, or one car from another line to get to the yellow line. Okay. Oh, yellow already has one going. Little micromanaging right here. No big deal. Okay, maybe it's... Purple line is still struggling. Another interchange, wow. So what's interesting about the interchange, oh interesting, this line up here gets another triangle stop, which will help it a little bit. This red probably needs to intersect with this circle. And if it does that, it kind of doesn't need to go to this rare station up there. That saves out a little surface area. The purple probably doesn't need to go down through this circle at all. Actually, yeah. So if I have an interchange right here and the yellow line where everything's most bottled up, like if I do this, that means that station can handle more, transfer more. And I told you before that I wanted to do a thing where all the people would transfer really quickly to get to the green. That was dumb. So now we see still more bottlenecks happening. So I think I need a yellow line traveling upwards, but for now I'm going to put this purple line traveling downwards and then pluck it. Plucked. Oh, another square. Great. Where I don't need it. I don't even need to waste the car's time if there's no passengers there already. Orange line? Oh shoot. That's incredibly inefficient. So the yellow line's too inefficient. Now that we've relieved some pressure, we're just going to do this. And you can cut across the lines if you want. And if we're going to cut across the lines, I don't think we need all of this going on. You're like, you want to make a cut path, then make a cut path. Yeah, we do need this to get to a triangle as soon as possible. But then that's what the upward flow is for. I don't want this orange line to do this, so I'm going to just do this. And now we have passengers here. So if the red line is doing well, what we can do relieve some pressure off of it, but that's a bunch of circles, right? There's nothing else to connect it to. But if the green line is more important to do... The red has two lines on it. It can handle this. The green line doesn't need to go across the bridge if it can help it. blue line went all the way down here just to deposit the squares because it can't do it directly. I don't think the blue line needs to go down there anymore. Okay, a lot of stuff started moving. My interchange still here doesn't have good flow. It's like Square City, right? And the only way to get through squares right now is just really poor through the interchange. So it's almost as if we need a direct line from yellow out to one of the ones right next to a square. But that's what this interchange is all about. So I think I need 2 points of contact right here. The red will now go to purple to square. The orange and the blue will now go to interchange to square. And if I had one more bridge or whatever, I would put it down here. I do have one more bridge, and I'm a liar. Yellow just needs to be able to deposit to square directly. Like, why even come up here when you can come down here? Relieve all your pressure and clean up everything else as you go along. Orange seems to be a waste of space now. Unless it connects some, float some, jet some. Squares are my biggest problem, so I think I need to... Like this triangle, not a big deal. You need to go through something that's high traffic. Either this one or this one. And you need to pick up traffic, and there's only circles all the way up here. That's so bad. That's bad too. And this requires a bridge. What a bad formation. Okay, hold on. This is a one-of-a-kind diamond out in the countryside. I figured the traffic for diamond is going to be low. So we can do something like this. Straight from the city, almost to the straight shot to the diamond. That'll work. I don't think the diamond pressure is going to be that big of a deal right now, but we'll see. And another circle for the princess, all the way down here. So it's going to pick up some stuff. And I'm thinking this line doesn't need to be nearly this long to do cleanup anymore. Oh, it still needs to hopscotch. Hold on. As much as possible. So I'm just going to keep adjusting the yellow line. I think this is the more video gamey aspect of it. And now the yellow line is going to be a quick depositor. And they are populating more quickly than I thought. Okay. Now we have some triangle pressure relieved in this circle zone. So... Again, this interchange is like the square drop-off zone. So diamond... That just elongated it significantly. There's not enough touch points for this, touchstones. Purple is now overcrowding because I think I took a line off of them. I didn't even see this triangle down here. Oh no. How many bridges do I have? 0. Do we really need blue and orange? Which one has the fewer number of stops? I think blue is more important to deposit here. And if orange is there, you can probably just do this. Okay, that saved me a bridge. So now with that bridge saved, this is the only one of the only triangles out here. purple is hurting so badly that I'm going to start it here and have it come back down the line. It looks like purple could... Circle's going to get cleaned up, then triangle's going to get cleaned up, then circle's going to... Purple's going to be fine just a few seconds. Blue is what's in trouble. And I need more green lines. No matter which way the green line goes, it's going to deposit squares. So that's kind of good. I don't think the red line needs to go that far north anymore, but I need as many things to take pressure off these zones as possible. Oh, good. More bridges. Okay. Purple is weird. It needs to carry as many passengers as possible as it worms its way down. Red just needs to keep flowing between green and red, which is great. And I'll temporarily alleviate the pressure on green and then apply it to blue. This is going to go north, because the only way to get to the star is to go north. I hear you. Complaining New Yorkers. It's fine. Now the yellow line, as the yellow line doesn't have enough attention. Like right here, when the yellow line's not going to be picking up any passengers going down, I just micromanage it like this. Do they not let you do that? They don't let you micromanage like on the same line, maybe with a hop skip. That's probably fair. It's probably fair, but probably not. I can move to the blue line temporarily. Does blue not have one? Blue does have one. Now the yellow line's just too congested. It needs another friend. Oh, that teardrop shape. I didn't want to grab that. Yeah, this interchange is much more popular than in upstate New York. I picked blue for this one just for variety's sake, because that's just a general principle I'm applying. I'm not going to think too hard about it. My yellow interchange is in so much hurting. I kind of want to grab this caboose, pop it on yellow down here. Now purple is relieved. I just reappropriated that caboose. Now orange is doing nothing, so I'm going to...